Сьогодні пропонуємо вашій увазі інтерв'ю з президентом Канадської асоціації кримських татар Рустемом Ірсаєвим, який нещодавно повернувся з поїздку в Україну і був очевидцем татарської блокади Криму і свідком російського насильства проти населення в Криму.
Добрий вечір, дорогі глядачі. В студії в нас сьогодні Рустем Ірсаєв, голова Канадської асоціації кримських татар. Rustem, welcome to our show.
Thank you for inviting.
You have a very interesting history, and it looks like both the Tatar people and the Ukrainian people are co-sufferers of the Soviet and general Russian regimes. And I understand that you're an exile, third-generation exile from Uzbekistan that came back to Crimea.
Yes, I was born in Uzbekistan, a small town nearby Tashkent named Sirdarya. It's a big river, everybody knows that river, but it was a small town, nobody knows about it. And when our grandfathers and grandmothers came there, it was nothing there. And they built everything, left everything in Crimea and built everything again from scratches in Uzbekistan. And like about 50 years, we lived there.
Well, Mr. Mirsai, we were brought together by the issues relating to Maidan and the issues relating to the annexation of Crimea. And we thank you very much for the common effort in relation to all those issues. And, but we understand right now that you just came back from a board meeting of the World Congress of Crimean Tatars, which happened in Henisersk, just on the border of Crimea and Ukraine.
On the Congress last summer, so I was elected as a representative of Canada, Canadian Association, to the board of World Congress. And so I just came from our third meeting of the, like a board meeting, from Genichesk, as you said. This is town, this is city, small city close to the Ukrainian, between Mathrik and the Crimea, in the peninsula. From there is a border where now our activists are doing a blockade.
Yes, we heard so much about this blockade, but could you give us a little background? What from your standpoint, from the Tatar standpoint, what is the purpose of that blockade?
Yes, so as you know, many of our activists, Majlis members, and like regular people are in a jail in Crimea because of the event of February 26, when when Verkhovna Rada, Crimean deputies, parliament, they tried to vote for the separation from Ukraine and joining Russia. And Crimean Tatar people and Ukrainian activists surrounded the Verkhovna Rada and didn't give them this possibility to vote. But the next day, overnight, Russia brought their military inside and they made the Verkhovna Rada to vote. Now, so-called Crimean government and their prosecutor, they're accusing our activists in mass riot. And 3 people now in a jail, they can go to jail for 10 years for nothing. First of all, it was in February 26, before, if we see, before everything went to Russia and Crimea became Russia. And all this case is fake. And, but they can do whatever they want now in Crimea.
Yes. Are there any further abuses towards the Tatar people in Crimea since the annexation of Crimea?
Yeah, they're doing everything to squeeze people out from Crimea. First of all, our activists and Majlis, they canceled the entrance for our leaders, for Majlis head Refat Chubarov and for our national leader Mustafa Jamilov,
yes,
and other members of Majlis. And now they have to work and do everything from the exile from Kiev. And inside of Crimea, of course, they're pushing people there, like searching houses, 5 a.m., 6 a.m. They're arresting people for, if they find some, I don't know, book looks like it's, yeah, it can be simple Arabic book, religion book or something, or Quran, and so we have to take this and have to search you, so they can arrest for nothing. And they shut down our only one Crimean Tatar TV station, ATR, and like taking of businesses and shutting down our schools, also Ukrainian schools.
Now back to the actual blockade. What is the purpose of the blockade and how is it working?
Blockade, first of all, to push to the so-called Crimean government to make pressure to them to release our prisoners and our activists, and also to make life in Crimea for Crimean Tatars and Ukrainians a little bit easier, because it's worse than Soviet Union now. Yes, and world doesn't do anything to help to it, and Ukraine also in a very tricky situation because of Donbass, Eastern Ukraine, and Crimea is the probably last in agenda. Yeah, hopefully now Poroshenko announced that this year is going to be like
to focus on Crimea.
Focus on Crimea, hopefully. But during last 2 years, there were only statements that Crimea is Ukraine, and he spoke few, 3 times Crimean Tatar language on TV, which was very made very happy our people, of course, but nothing has been done so far. And our leaders and our activists decided to make a blockade on the border to prevent Ukrainian goods to go to Crimea, because our activists, they searched and they found that more than a half of this goes to Crimea, and through the Jankoy, the city in the center of Crimea, they unload the trucks, load to the bigger, like different trucks, Russian trucks, and through the Kerch, it goes to Russia because it's twice or triple cheaper.
So it
and they sell, it's a business.
So it's not, doesn't stop in Crimea?
Yeah, no.
Or not distributed in Crimea?
Yeah, maybe 30% of it. And also these goods, they supplied their military bases with these goods because it's a good quality and it's a much cheaper. And so it was a business, and somebody in Kiev was making this business. And what our activists did, all 3, what is it, the points?
With entry points,
Entry points, they put the activists, it's a Crimean Tatar activists, Pravy Sector, other Ukrainian activists, Azov, and all people who supported us. They came and they started to block the trucks and search the even small cars in terms of the stuff can be sold in Crimea, like in terms of the business. Yes, and so the main thing was to stop the power supply, the hydro. Last year, the deal between Ukraine and Crimea was made by the Canadian or by the Ukrainian government, but the formulation there was the deal is between Ukrainian Energy Ministry and Crimea as a subject of Russian Federation. Wow. So Ukrainian government is recognized Crimea as Russian Federation. It's a nonsense. And they were supplying this, and when our leaders said, what is it? Please explain why it's like this. They said, oh, it's a business. It's a good business. We are having good money. So we are supplying our enemies and doing everything. They grow economy in Crimea, and we help them to settle there and make their power stronger. Ukrainian government said, okay, let's make a deal. We can supply the power, but let's do the new contract, and there will be two subjects, two sides. Ukraine and Crimea as a subject, autonomic republic of the Ukraine, inside of Ukraine, as it was before. The world recognized it. And of course, Putin couldn't go for it.